Also, hello, welcome back to another video. I'm Laura, that was Cameron, and we're leaving the cruise, and it's sad, but also kind of ready to go. In a good, satisfied, but maybe we'll head into the bed also. No one can stop us. Spa.
Book exchange.
Yeah, so this the library, the card room, photo studio, and then the pool. Stepping off. Off we go. Goodbye, Jewel. You were great. We just picked up our luggage. They called our color very similar to exactly like Disney cruise. And we just walked right off the ship and picked up our bags where the color was. Super easy. All right, we are here at the airport. We started leaving the ship at like 8:15. It's now, what, 9:30? 9:29, a little over an hour just to get from
off the ship, grabbing our luggage, going through customs at the port, taking a half-hour taxi here to the airport, going through customs here.
And now we're at our gate, and it only took a little over an hour. I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. As you can see, we got some sun yesterday. But we have like 2 hours until we start boarding our plane. This is a really cool airport. There's a Tim Hortons behind us, which we've never been to before, so we're gonna try some Tim Hortons and wait for our plane. Got my Tim Hortons. Gonna try the coffee. 1 second. Ooh, it smells. That's delicious. It's not super sweet. Now for the super sweet. Timbits. It's a donut hole. It's delicious. It's like dense on the inside. Off to first. I don't know what I'm saying. First leg home. That's what I'm saying. First leg home. Hello. It's been a while. How are you? Good, great. This was the end of this. I can't believe I've been putting off this video for so long. Didn't even have that much footage to edit, so here we are. First of all, I would like to say thank you and welcome to everybody. I didn't expect this series to bring so many new friends, and I can't even remember if I've like talked to you guys in real-ish time recently. I don't even know. If I have, I'm sure I've already mentioned this, but if I haven't, welcome. Welcome everybody to this channel. I hope you enjoyed our Alaska series. We enjoyed that cruise. I think all 4 of us agreed that was one of the best family vacations we've had. We would all do it again. We would all do an Alaska cruise again, and I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll do a couple. Every time we go to Alaska, it's different. Like the trip is different, so we'll be going back for sure. But I did want to close this out with a couple of thoughts on cruise that maybe we didn't get to. And again, remember, this was early May. It is currently early October. That's 5 months. It took me 5 months. Holy macaroni. So I'm gonna start, and this is just gonna be like general thoughts on things, because again, it's been 5 months. If there's anything I missed or anything you have questions about, let me know down in the comments and I will try my hardest to answer those questions and help you out. I do very much enjoy helping you all with your vacations and answering questions about places we've been and places we love. So let me know down in the comments down below. I'm gonna start with embarkation and disembarkation. The easiest. They were so easy. Getting on and off, super easy, super quick. So that's that on that. Food was pretty good. The main dining rooms was nothing really to write home about, but it was decent food. That was like, it wasn't like horrible food. It was, yeah, it was good. For the specialty restaurants, we did the teppanyaki on our last night, which I did not vlog our last day. I decided that when we do these big vacations, I do, and if I am vlogging them, want to leave one day where I'm not vlogging, and it's usually the last day. So on the last day, we just relaxed and read and hung out, and then we went to teppanyaki, and then we went to the show. So the teppanyaki, it was so good. The chin chin was really, really good too. That wasn't included restaurant, but it was kind of specialty, but it was included, which you saw on our first night we went there. That was really good. We did go there a second time. Cagney's Steakhouse was the other specialty dining we did because we had the free at sea package. So you get 2 specialty dinings. So we did teppanyaki and Cagney's Steakhouse. You did see our Cagney's Steakhouse, and that was really good. I enjoyed it. It was fancy and it was fun and it was really, really good. So that's food. Entertainment, I think I said it in the vlog before, but holy moly, the entertainment was so good. We thought it was gonna be that, you know, cheesy cruise ship entertainment, but oh no, these people are talented. Not saying that cheesy entertainment is not, they're not talented, but these guys, whew, super. One sec. These guys were super talented. Oh my gosh. Every single person in the performance cast were chef's kiss. They were so good. There was like a 70s show, which I think I talked about. The vocals were out of this world. It was insane. There was a vocalist, soloist lady who sang in a couple of the shows, and she was actually at her table at teppanyaki, and that was her closing night. So she was, oh no, that was her last night on board. We watched her closing night. That last night of the cruise was her last night on board. So her and her husband were there at teppanyaki, and then they were gonna go watch the show, which was like a Cirque du Soleil show, which was fantastic. And then they were gonna have like a little party afterwards. So it was really cool to meet her and talk to her and learn about her experiences on board. The entertainment, fabulous. Food, decent. Our cabin was so nice, as you saw. The only thing that I didn't get in our tour, because I didn't realize it at the beginning when I was doing the tour of our cabin, was the lack of outlets. We had the ones, there were USB outlets on our lamps by each side of the bed, so we did have that for our phones, but make sure you have a long enough cord, because mine barely, like my phone was barely hanging on because it came down from the light. It was like at the bottom of the light, if that makes sense. So your charging cord hung down, and then if it's not long enough, your phone's it's not gonna connect your phone. Make sure to bring longer cords and maybe some, I don't know. So those were the only ones we had there. And then there was, I think, 2 outlets on the desk, but one of them didn't work or something like that, or maybe it was just 1 outlet on the desk. So if you're like us and you have phones and cameras to charge, you have like more than 2 things to charge, and there's not many outlets, at least in our room. The bathroom, there was 1 outlet in the bathroom. Similar to the lights, it was above the mirror. So whatever you were plugging in up there had to be long enough to come down to the counter so it wasn't hanging. Lack of outlets was kind of the only thing we noticed in our cabin that was kind of meh. Other than that, our attendants were fabulous, as always. The balcony was so great, especially we were next to my mom and Scott, so the days that we just like spent half the day at on the balcony, we kind of all just hung out there, and it was really nice. Oh, I didn't talk about the buffet in the food. The buffet was really good, especially for breakfast. The buffet was really, really good. The ports were fabulous, of course. Excursions are just as expensive as any other cruise. There were a lot of things you can do on your own. Like we did a lot of exploring on our own, and we usually do that. Sometimes on a cruise we'll do 1 or 2 excursions like we did this time. We did the zip line and the crab feed, and that's nice. It is nice to have like something planned for the day and have someone else kind of take the reins of your plans for the day. So we do sometimes do 1 or 2 excursions a trip. I think the last thing I'll touch on, because I am starting to go 10 minutes now, the free at sea package. For us, 100% worth it because it included drinks. So alcohol, anything $15 and below was included. And for us, that was great because as you saw, we had our mudslides, we had wine, martinis, and a lot of it, not all of it, a lot of it under 15. And then if it's over 15, you just pay what is over that 15, if that makes sense. If you get a drink, a specialty drink that's like 20 bucks, which I don't think any of them, unless it was like super fancy, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember any of them being that much. For 1 drink, but if it was, so say it was over 20 bucks, you just paid $5 for it. Plus tip, of course, always put tip on. If you are drinking on the ship in port, there is a port fee or tax fee, and it's usually just a couple bucks. So really you're just paying like a couple bucks per drink. So that made it super worth it for us. It did also include 2 specialty dining. So like I said, we did teppanyaki and Cagney's. Worth it. And then it also included, this was just whatever, for excursions, it included $50 off 2 excursions per cabin. Between Cameron and I, one of us got $50 off the excursion. So if it was $100 per person for an excursion, normally that would be $200 for the 2 of us in our cabin. But with that promo, it was $150. So, and I think it was for 2 excursions, which we did. And then we got a certain amount of Wi-Fi. That's what it was. You got a certain amount of Wi-Fi, which I think is a little bit more than the base, maybe. Gosh, it's been so long and I haven't done my research before doing this. When I get the motivation to edit, I gotta just take that motivation. But we did get a little bit of Wi-Fi with it. I didn't use it all up. Cameron was, I think he was doing a little bit of work at one point, so he did use a little bit more than me, but it was plenty. Plenty to like check, I don't know, your emails or socials if you needed to, but not enough to like stream stuff. Okay, one other thing I did want to talk about that Cameron just reminded me of is like the vibe of the ship. So this was a different vibe. Obviously it's a more adult vibe, but very casual. And I think that's what we loved about it. Oh, the dining. When I didn't talk about the food, you can dine whenever you want. Unlike Disney and I think other cruise lines, some other cruise lines where you have a time to go and dine. Norwegian, you can go to dinner whenever you want. 10 out of 10, every cruise line should be doing that. Although I do understand with Disney, the rotating dining, I understand why they do that. I have a feeling like with Disney and their themed restaurants, certain ones would be much harder to get into than others if you didn't do the rotational dining. So with Disney, I understand like why they do it, but with this, it was so great. We went to dinner whenever we felt like it, which was really, really nice. And so that helped with kind of the overall relaxed vibe of the ship. In terms of like the size of the ship, the Jewel, I think is roughly the same size as the Wonder, the Disney Wonder, holds around 2,500 folks, I think. And we love it. There's so many places that you could just sit and hang out. If you wanted to spend all your time in Spinnaker Lounge, which we spent most of our time in Spinnaker Lounge, that's where the live music is, the drinks. So it's can be a little bit more party atmosphere, or like during the day, it's more chill. We read a lot in there. The atrium, again, also has live music. It's a very small atrium, and it was always, their seats were always full when we went in there. The atrium wasn't necessarily a place that we, for us, wanted to hang out in. We liked the Spinnaker Lounge because of the big windows. Atrium just had like portholes. It was a little dark in there, so, but there were a lot of people hanging out. It looked very social in there, the people that were hanging out. I think we will always choose a smaller ship over the huge ones. Huge ones seem overwhelming. Going on to this one, we were excited and a little nervous, I guess, about there not being very many activities, especially compared to Disney Cruise on board. But for this trip, you didn't need those activities, especially if you're like us, where you could sit on your balcony and read all day and watch Alaska and Canada go by. Like, that was one of our favorite days. When we ordered room service and read and hung out on the balcony, which you can do that up on the pool deck, or, you know, if you don't have a balcony, you can still do that anywhere around the ship. There's plenty of seating. We were not at full capacity, so I will say that, because it was early in the season, but there's plenty of seating. The only day that we had a sunny day was our very last day, and we did sit out on the deck, laid out and read for a little bit, and that was very nice. And the pool deck did fill up a little bit, because it's a small pool deck. Keep that in mind if you are doing the Jewel in warmer climates. It is a pretty small pool deck, but at the same time, we were obviously in cooler climate, so we didn't use it. So it was kind of always empty. So it's hard to tell what it was like filled up, except for that last day. It was pretty full. So keep that in mind. You could always find a quiet corner somewhere. There was a lot of little secluded seating areas that we could just kind of relax at. It was easy to find things. Once we got settled, it was easy to find things. Overall, it was pretty great. Norwegian, we'll see you again. Coming up in this 5 months, we did take another vacation with Cameron's family to Hawaii. Once I get motivation to edit those vlogs, we've got Hawaii coming up, and then we do have more planned travel. We've got the holidays coming up. Stay tuned. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.